Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial over the gradebook within Google Sheets. So to get started, go into your Google Drive, right click in the open area, the blank spot here in your drive, or click on New, select Google Sheets. You'll open that up and it'll bring you to a blank spreadsheet. And by the end of the assignment, we're going to be making something that looks similar to this, a gradebook with student names, student assignments, point values, or chart I should say, whatever it is you want to put in there, and the descriptor. So going back here to my gradebook, on the directions, the first thing it asks you to do is create a gradebook that has at least 5 students and 5 assignments with grades. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And what I recommend is having a column for student's last name and first name. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and put in my assignments and my student name, so I'll come back in just a moment. Okay, I went in and added all that information, and what I wanted to show you also was already had the text pre-formatted, so I went back and put it to the clear formatting option, so everything is back to normal, right? So how to change this information so that you can modify your fonts and whatnot. Just like anything else, you can go to your fonts here, your size, bold, font color, etc. I'm gonna wait till I have everything typed up to do that, but I just wanted to show you and make sure you knew that was um, what was going on. Okay, so we're looking at this stuff here, and oh, we have our 5 assignments, our 5 student names. The one thing I would suggest you is adding another column, another row, excuse me, and making it that says total points. That way you know how many points these particular assignments were worth for your students. Okay, now that you have that done, what you want to do is make sure that everything is within balance. So notice your Civil War battle poster, this doesn't fit all the way. So the first thing we want to do is we can take all of our rows here and extend it out a little bit further. And we can change our size by right clicking when they're all highlighted and make those columns wider. Now you're going to notice Civil War battle poster still doesn't fit. So what we can do here is take our cell, we're going to text wrap. Make sure our cell is highlighted, go to text wrap, we're going to put it so that it is wrapped within the cell, not just clipped as it was before. We're going to make sure that it is wrapped. We're going to vertical align that in the middle if we want, which it comes up because it's only 2 lines anyway, so that's no big deal. And then we'll center that a little bit later. So that's how you can get away with that, so you're not getting your items cut out in any column, not just in your grade column, but any column. Maybe a student has a long last name or whatever it is. And always, as always, you can change the size of your columns just simply by dragging over as well. So next thing I want to show you is, before we get to borders and cell shading, is how to freeze rows. So if you're scrolling right to left or up and down, you don't lose your place. And to do that, what we do is go to View, Freeze, 2 rows, View, Freeze. I'm gonna do 2 columns as well. And the reason I did that is just because the total points and the name of the assignment won't ever leave. So if I scroll down, notice my students' names might disappear, but if I have other content here, it doesn't go anywhere. Same thing if I move, oh, let me go back here, View, Freeze, and I want 2 columns. So same thing when I go and scroll to the right. So if I have a bunch of grades, even if I'm scrolling, I don't lose that student's name. So the next item that this is asking you to do is add borders and cell shading to the table. Well, I'm going to get to that in just a second, because first what I want to do is get your formulas in here, your total, maximum, minimum, and average formulas. Now it's important to learn how to utilize these formulas because they can be really, really valuable in a lot of different ways. So the first one that it's asking you for is the total for each student's score. So I'm going to add a title over here of total score. And first what I want to do is I want to know, okay, so what were the total number of points, not just for the semester, or the time period of the gradebook I should say, but also for each one of my students' scores. So I need to enter the correct formula right here. So to do that, I click on the formula option, sum. I can also type it in manually, equal to sum, select that formula, and then highlight the specific cells I want to include for that range. Hit enter, and now notice it just gave me the total for each one of these 5 columns. Now I can manually punch in the formula all over again, or I can simply drop my cursor on the blue square, scroll down, and notice it's going to populate. Right now it's at 0, right? But as I go through here, it populates all those for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill in the student grades real quick. So now I went and plugged in my student scores and the total column. The next thing I want is the maximum. I'm sorry, I'm going to actually switch that around. I'm going to go with the average column. So I get the average formula for the student and for each assignment. So I want the average score for my students. So I'm going to enter here, average column. But instead of the sum formula, I want to find my average formula. And same thing, you can manually enter it like this. And now I'm going to highlight the specific range that I want within there. It's going to give me that option. I'm going to go ahead and hit the autofill option now because I showed you how to use the square here, the cursor here. Okay, so that's good. Now you got your total, now you got your average. Now it's asking you for the maximum, minimum, and average of each of the individual assignments. So I'm going to skip a row, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to type in my max, min, average. You know what? I'm going to switch this around. Average, max, min. Again, my average formula. What range do I want? Highlight the scores for that particular assignment. Hit autofill, but it's going to, this time, you want to be careful because we don't want the max or the min. So I want to change that out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually change that formula to my max. Highlight my range. It identifies it. And then the same thing here. I want my minimum. Highlight my range. Enter. And now I drag this across. I can get an average for absolutely everything if I want to. So pretty nice. Breaks that all down for you. Now the next thing that asks you to do is borders and cell shading. So first thing I'm going to do is my fonts. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make it all Oswald. I'm going to make it all 11 point, and I am going to center all of the content that is here. That makes it a little bit easier for you. Now the next thing is that cell shading and adding borders. So I like to get rid of clutter, unnecessary clutter. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of these rows and columns that I don't need because they're just in the way. And now I got a nice clean area here. So the next item I want to do is the cell shading. So I'm going to drop my cursor up here, and I'm going to go to Format, Alternating Colors. Now you can individually do each row if you want, but it's very, very time consuming. So I'm just going to switch these out to whatever color I want. Hit Done, and now notice it automatically does it for me. Now if I start typing content down here, it won't put it in there. But if I insert, for instance, a row below, it will keep that formatting for me. So it's pretty nice just to have it there. It makes it a little bit easier. And you can change that when you copy your spreadsheet. The next item is inserting a chart. So to select a cell, insert, chart. And now what we want to do is identify our ranges of our cells here. So our data range is going to be, if I want to do the average total score, go ahead and select my range here. And now I want to also add another range, my names. And now when I go into the chart, it's going to give me some suggested types here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that suggested option, and now you're going to notice it pops up for right here for me, my total score, student names, title, and then to modify this, there's a few different things that you can do. Under the Customize option, under Chart Style, you can change the background color if you would like. You can leave it white. You can change the border color of the chart. Whatever it is that you would like to do, make these 3D, maximize them. comparing modes, switching up the fonts, whatever it is that you would like to do. Chart axis titles, same thing. So you can change the title here if you would like, change the font, size, bold, italicize, etc., color. Series, so maybe you want to change the color of the bar graphs themselves. Whatever you'd like to do, you can determine how much exactly you want it to be filled up. Do you want it to be just 30% opacity, or do you want it to be that 100%? Line color for the border, how big do you would like it to be, the type of line that you would like, line thickness. You can flip the axes around if you would like. Horizontal axis, same as the title, and vertical axis. Now what you'll do is you're going to also be writing in a summary. So I'm going to go ahead and just add 20 rows here so my table has a spot. And now we're going to be adding text. So I want to just have my summary. The students did well on the exam. However, Brooke needs more attention. Something like that. You know, a couple sentences in here, give them some detail, but you're going to notice your text is gone. So what I want to do is merge my cells, click using this option. And now I need to, again, wrap my text. And then the assignment's asking for bottom justified. And then to change the font color, etc. So we don't want it to be the default Arial. Go ahead and give it fat face, doesn't really matter. 14, and then I want to make sure that I change my font color. Go ahead and make it blue like the content. Click anywhere and it will go back there for you with your merged cells, and there you have your summary. To duplicate the sheet, all you do is click on this arrow here and hit duplicate, and that will allow you to then have another 2 or 3 cells, or 2 or 3 sheets, I should say, 2 sheets, to change your class titles. To modify them, you just simply double click the name, and it'll take you there, and then you can go in and change the name of the title. Now, what you're going to notice, I asked you to have different charts for your particular project. So what you do here, once you make this copy, so let's just go ahead and duplicate. When I'm in here, I don't need another summary. I only need a summary on the first sheet that you create. So I can actually edit my chart. And what's pretty neat about this is it will go in and give you different types of charts that you can utilize. So I just want to make sure that when you're doing this, you have looked at different charts. Different data sets are going to be represented by different charts. So what fits for this particular data set that you're looking at here? And then make sure when you submit this, it is published via the, oh, well, yeah, one last thing I want to show you, I forgot to show you, was the borders. So if I want borders in here, highlight what I want, click on the border option, and I can just simply identify what type of border I want. If I want the thinner border, if I want that fatter, a little bit fatter border, whatever it is that you would like to have in there. To share this, go to File, Share, Publish to the web, the link option, Publish. Now you copy that link, drop it into a new tab to make sure it works, and now notice your sheet will pop up here. The sheet titles will move from the bottom in the shared version or the editing version to the top when it is published. Then you simply click on those and you scroll through. I'd recommend as well, as you can see, putting different colors for your different classes. It helps you differentiate as you move through. So that is how to make a gradebook in Google Sheets. And hopefully you found this to be valuable, not just for sheets and databases and gradebooks, but for the different ways in which you can employ sheets across your teaching and learning practices. So nice job, folks. I look forward to seeing your assignments.